Hello everyone. This winter was long. Spring only came in May and the weekends have been hit and miss, at least here in Montreal. I've been going out plein air painting when I can, taking advantage of sunny and slightly misty days. This is my third summer going outside to draw and paint. 2017 was the first year I tried plein air. It was late August and I was scared out of my mind. I tried making myself as small as possible, closing my sketchbook when people came around, pretending I was simply taking some late summer sun. I started going to the botanical gardens with the intention of taking reference pictures that I could take and use at home. It took me weeks to talk myself into bringing my sketchbook and a pencil. It took me a couple more weeks to add a small watercolor tin and a water brush. I'm glad I did because by the end of September, I talked myself into tackling Inktober, which I completed about 50% plein air in a tiny Moleskine watercolor sketchbook. If you're interested in seeing that sketchbook tour, I'll link the video in the description. That first year was difficult. I didn't have a setup. I mostly drew as quickly as I could and added paint just as quickly. I was terrified passersby would catch me painting and judge my work. I kept wishing I could tell them, I'm a beginner, please don't judge me. As exhilarating as some moments were, I think the plein air experience was more stressful than enjoyable that first year. Last spring, early summer, I took a couple of watercolor and sketching classes given by Les Amis du Jardin Botanique. Before those classes started, I went by myself trying out my new setup. I had a new watercolor sketchbook that I made myself with 100% watercolor paper. I had also made myself a drawing board that I hooked to straps I could put around my neck and rest on my abdomen. I had my choice of watercolor tins, watercolor pencil, pill bottles that I use as water containers, all of it secured with magnets and clips. Painting and drawing as a group outside really helped with not feeling like a weird specimen to be observed by strangers. Eventually, I got comfortable. When classes ended, I continued going every weekend I could outside, mostly to the botanicals, but also to other parks to paint. I learned from getting backaches that I had to cut down on the amount of stuff I carried in my backpack. Interestingly, it wasn't so much the weight, but how lumpy all those materials were. As much as I liked my drawing board, being tense from having to balance my watercolors, my sketchbook, my water containers, and all the rest really didn't help. I needed an easel, and taking videos with my phone became an issue when it fell to the ground and got really scratched. In April this year, I started getting prepared. I have wanted a Strata easel since last summer. I got one. It's a little on the heavy side, but it rests really well in my backpack and it can contain some of the materials in it. It was important to me that I could eventually do more than just watercolor and gouache, and I think the Strata is really adaptable that way. I bought myself a used GoPro Hero 4, so no more scratching my phone. Technically, I have a lot more footage now, though I still take forever to edit my videos. Sorry. Maybe next year I should get a monkey to do that for me. I've transferred my gouache into a Bianyo container. I'll link to a video from Sadie Saves today that reviews it. It's a wonderful way to store gouache, and I've had mine for a few months. I don't only take my sketchbook out with me anymore. I also have some loose papers taped on light plastic boards because I like the variety. Now, it's a lot of things, but these are only things. I have occasionally brought only a pencil and a sketchbook with me, and that's all you basically need. Though I still wear hats, mostly to protect from the sun, and wear headphones, I sometimes enjoy talking to strangers. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it takes an hour or two being somewhere before I feel comfortable painting in public. Sorry I don't post often. Blame the missing editing monkey. I really need one of those. Do you plein air? What's your biggest struggle when you do? Any tips and tricks? I'll be posting a longer real-time version of this painting if you're interested. Until then, remember that you are awesome. Monkeys are awesome. Even the lazy ones that don't know how to edit videos. Take care. Ciao.